Welcome back to the Trifecta Handgun channel, another Smith and Wesson 10mm video. Hey, in case you're new here, we talk about handgun hunting on this channel almost exclusively. If you guys don't know, my name is Brian. I am the, creator or designer of the Trifecta Handgun Rest. I have a lot of videos showing you how this works. This model is called the Hybrid Hunter. It's a little bit larger model, mainly designed for bench rest shooting and bottleneck cartridges, and mostly for if you have a short trek to your hunting area. We also have another model called the Signature Camo. It's much lighter, it's much more maneuverable. It is a great rest, an overall rest just to take on your hunt. I have a bunch of videos, go check them out. If you are interested in one of these, go to Trifectahandgun.com. There's more info there. Of course, you can always send me an email through the contact information on the website. Now let's get back to the video. I have a lot of things to cover today. Let's recap on the last video. We saw that the gun had a malfunction. We also had a lot of accuracy issues. Some of you in the comments suggested that it was the ammo. One mentioned it's a bulge in the case. The other just mentioned that it's the ammo. So we're going to go to the bench. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to shoot this gun today. I'm going to bring it back to 25 yards. We're going to take 5 shots. I have not shot this gun yet. As you can see, all 15 rounds are still in the case. So if everything goes well today, I'll get 1.5 inches or less group. I'll take 2 inches. So you may recall in the last video that the gun got stuck at about that point and I had a malfunction. It seemed like a light primer strike to me at the time. But as we all know from looking at the last video, it was not fully into battery. So what I did between then and now is I actually went to other Smith and Wesson videos that talk about this gun. There was a guy, YouTuber called LW Road, and he suggested looking at the manual. I did. There's 2 instances in there where it says to clean your gun before you use it. Did I do that? No. Is it my job to do that? Yes. It also says to oil your gun in 8 different places. Did I do that? No. So I don't blame Smith and Wesson. I don't blame the gun, at least not yet. But I did go through, I cleaned the barrel, I did everything, I cleaned everything out. As you can see from the pictures, there was a lot of gunk, there was a lot of filings in there, very small pieces of metal from probably the machining process that were not cleaned out. I also cleaned that ugly looking orange paint off the spring. I'm guessing they did that at the factory so they knew which spring went with which gun, but we don't care about that now. All the paint's gone. So let's assume the shooting portion of this video, I actually do well at 25 yards. I meet that goal. The next thing I'm going to do is go out to 50, not 60 like I did last time, but 50. I'm also going to look at the gun between every shot to make sure there's no malfunction whatsoever. But right now, let's head over to the bench, take this gun apart, and discuss the ammo. Can you guys see that? The maximum outside diameter is 0.423. I'll put that number on the screen so you don't forget it. So let's check some of this Blazer ammo first, see what we have. Zero out my calipers. .418. Check it out a couple different places. .421. .419. Let's check out our hand-loaded ammunition. .420, .421, .420. So just so you know, off camera, I measured all these just to see if there's anything strange going on. They were all in spec. Now let's take apart the gun and see how they fit in the barrel. Okay, as you can see, they all fit perfectly in there. Once again, I went through every one of these rounds, make sure that nothing was out of the ordinary. Okay, just a few side notes. I did use brand new Starline brass. I used the HAP bullets that I've been talking about, the 180 grain Hornady, Winchester primers, and I think that's it. and accurate number 9 powder. If you watched the last video, I talked about 13.3 grains being what I think is what I've had the best results with so far. So I loaded up 15 rounds with that 13.3 grain charge, which I got directly off the Hodgdon reloading website. So let's go ahead and shoot our 5 shots at 25 yards. We'll come back and talk about it. Okay, first things first, the gun ran flawlessly. And if you have one of these and you've been having trouble with it going back into battery or whatever, take it apart, clean it, get out the alcohol, get out the gun solvent, get out the Q-tips, whatever you got to do to get that thing cleaned up, but clean it thoroughly. Spend an hour on it and just keep going over it and over it again. Get everything cleaned up and oil it in the 8 spots that the manual recommends, and yours might run perfect as well. Now, I've only put 10 more shots through this thing, so we don't know if it's going to run the next 200 perfect, but I think it's going to. I think that was the issue. It was very dirty before I cleaned it up. So let's move on. Remember what I said in the opener about needing to get a 1.5 to 2 inch group max before I was going to be happy at 25 yards? Okay, check that out. So first shot right here. I looked through my binoculars, saw that was number 1, and that's number 4 right there. There's 3 in this little tiny 1/2 inch group here. I know what happened with that. And when we go back to talking about the shooting process and what went on there, I will discuss these high shots. In the next target, I have the same thing, so I'm going to talk about that. So let's take a measurement. As you can see, that's right at 2 inches. I'm pretty happy with that. Actually stoked, because I know I can get rid of that. I know exactly what I did. Let's bring in the 50-yard target. That was shot number 1 there. And I think that was, again, shot number 4. And again, I think I can tell you exactly what happened there. Now, when I was shooting, I didn't know if these 3 were actually in there like they are. I thought they were either in there or clear off the paper. If they were clear off the paper, I was going to be ready to throw this gun into the ocean and turn it into a very small boat anchor. But that is less than a 1 inch group from 50 yards. If I could bring these into there, I don't know what I would think. That's about as good as I could shoot a gun, period, let alone a 4 inch polymer 10 millimeter pistol. So let's just go back. We'll discuss the rest of this stuff when we get back to the shooting range. Let's talk about the high shots before I forget to discuss it. When I'm aiming with this rest, there's a couple of things I can do. I can use my handle back here and make some coarse or fine adjustments with it. I can also use the handle up here. Now, if you guys have been watching me, you've noticed that I've been putting 2 hands on the gun, just like you may if you were going to use this as a combat weapon. Whereas with my other guns that are much heavier than this, I actually use this handle and I shoot them one-handed because the weight really keeps them in place. This one I feel like it's too volatile if I don't use both my hands to really hold it steady onto the rest. So what I think happened is I was probably like 1 inch or 2 above the target. I remember being a little bit high when I was aiming. Instead of readjusting with the handle back here and going back, I think I actually pulled down on the gun. And this rest has just a little bit of squish in it. There's a Velcro piece that goes across the top here. and you can actually adjust it. I think that's what I did, is I pulled the gun down, because I remember doing that. It's like, is this a good idea or not? And then I shot and it went high. So I probably did that on both the 25 and the 50. I hope so anyway, because I can work that out. If it's something with the gun or the ammo, I really don't know how to fix that. But I look at the gun as a machine, and if the machine does the same thing over and over again, it's going to perform the exact same way. So I'm hoping it was me, just to get to the bottom of it. But we'll find out. Where do we go from here? Well, I'm just going to tell you, I'm officially announcing that this gun is going to make the Trifecta. I was hoping it would, because I paid $600 for it. So why would you not want something that you paid pretty good money for to hunt with, to actually not be able to hunt with it? But after the last session, the last video, I was like, nah, there's no way. But after this time, I think we've got things figured out, cleaned up the gun, and it ran flawlessly. So I'm really stoked right now about this gun and its future, just from looking at those targets. So where do we go from here? I'm going to make a video not about this gun next time. I'm going to pick one of the other ones and do something with it, just to mix things up. And I'm also going to practice with this off camera, using the method that I would use to actually hunt with, and just kind of get good at it before I come back and make a video about it. And I want to mention that this is kind of a sterile process, shooting in here. You know, it's climate controlled, there's no wind. I'm shooting on a very flat surface with a very heavy rest. So if you saw those very small groups, I may not be able to do that when I'm going to be using my other one. Sitting where I can't grab it. So this is what I would actually hunt with. It's a monopod on our signature camo rest. It's pretty lightweight, so I can just pack it anywhere. If I'm going to hunt in a tree stand or some kind of natural blind, whatever, I can just run this thing along and stay mobile that way. So this is what I'm going to be practicing. I will show you which methods I'm going to use once I figure them out myself, find something that works, find something that's consistent. Hey, if you guys haven't yet, go check out the merch on the website. If you have a bald head like mine, you can cover it up with one of these cool hats. Can you guys figure out where that T came from? It's another logo. Trifectahandgun.com, that's where you get the rest. That's where you get the cool logo wear. There's a bunch of stuff on there, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, whatever. So go check it out, find something that you like if you want to support the channel. I appreciate you guys. If you think you might be into handgun hunting and you haven't subbed yet, please do that. Comment on anything you saw in the video, whether we're going to be able to make this happen or not with the 10mm. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.